Hi there. So, I decided to have the idea and determination to work on a bit of a improv project on not just helping the street community, but giving them the proper resources that they need to be aware of. And they have no awareness. I didn't have awareness when I was going through all that shit. It's taken me a long time to stand on the foundation that I have today. And I've seen people try to bring awareness to the problem. I don't see them bringing awareness to the issues that I personally see. Now, today I'm starting this journey off by going to the food bank. And that's because of the resources that you need, number one, in order to apply for some of these government programs. So it works out too because of work coming out short next couple of weeks, so I can actually work on focusing on this film project that I have. So I'm here in the No Frills Plaza in just off of Leslie here. Like I'll just give you a quick visual. It's right on the corner here. And where the food bank is located is right off of Gorham and Leslie. I'll be showing footage of me approaching the building in a bit. It's really just about pointing people in the right direction. Because, you know, I've had people that have helped me out, and I found out that they've frozen to death. Like, they've been resuscitated, thank God, but yeah, no, like, I run into these people and they tell me these stories, and it's like, Jesus Christ, who the hell's gonna help them? And let's be realistic, I can't. They'll drag me down to their level, and I can't afford to be there in my life. I have to stay strong for everybody right now. And that's where I'm coming from in this project. Cheers. So, we're on Gorham, and I'll try to zoom in there. Gorham and Harry Walker. This is about where the food bank is. I'll be approaching the building soon, but before I do that, I figured I'd show off the information that you need before you go in. What you need is proof of address and a health card, or any sort of photo ID. Now, there is a list of information that qualifies as photo ID. I got my longboard here because I'm used to these independent journeys. Now, the resources that they have are all on these boards that are in a lobby. I'm pretty sure the lobby's going to be a little busy because it is the end of the month. That being said, you never know, because cottage season, some people could have dragged a lot of their friends up or whatnot. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances. Anyways, this is the plaza that the food bank is in. 1251 Gorham. It's right on down there. You can see it. Camera's a little wobbly. So yeah, I'm gonna be walking in soon, and I'm going to be closing the camera shutter just because I'm not sure who it would and would not be comfortable on camera, at least until I get to the job board, or not the job board, the resource board. That's it. Yeah. It's a delivery unit. the edges I want. Hi.
You know what I mean? But under his yeah, make sure. Thank you.
Take a number, hon, and have a seat.
I will.
Thanks, sweetie. Okay, there we go. Good. Number 9. You might need 2 cards.
Okay, all right,
I need you to
perfect.
push a second card.
Perfect. How's that? Is it good help? Okay. I'm gonna get you to answer that question.
Number 9, please.
I'm number 7.
I'm number 8.
Well, how did you have 8?
I have no idea. Are they putting numbers back?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're taking numbers out of here.
Okay, so your number, so you were first, if you were 7, you were 8.
Okay. Okay.
Me too, Amanda.
You're with me. Here, this is yours.
Thank you. It's hard to see with the glare on the times there.
So it's me, my son, and my mom.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming to
Here, this is me.
I've been to the other location. I haven't been for a while, so I didn't have to gray. Maybe a year ago. And it's been longer than that. Okay. Okay, so I have, this is for me. Hold on 1 second. I have to go to the car and get my wallet. I'm going to get out already.
I just closed the door, that's all.
Yes. No. Yes. No, that's mine.
Sit down there. No, I sit down there. No, my back hurts me. I have to sit there.
You can sit right there.
I can't. I can't. Sit down there.
Now, this is what I've been doing since, God, let's say March of 2 years ago, something like that. I've done this in the winter time. I've done this year round. Honestly, summertime is probably the best time to make this trek, but Just figured I'd show you what the game plan is. Let's try to position this box. That should be about right. Okay. Enjoy this banana first. All right. Whoops. Back in the way. Should be good. Yeah. All right. Let's roll. Okay, this isn't really working as well as I thought it would, so I'll just... So I thought this would be harder than it actually was, because I'm so used to pushing this, but I figured out a brand new system. Like, I wanted to show how inconvenient everything is, and I come up with this genius solution to my own problems. So I'm just gonna have this leisurely walking my food home. I do still have to pick up the longboard during intersections, which means I have to pick up the whole damn thing. But I don't mind making this journey for myself. You know, it's I've had to you know, let's figure out this camera thing first. Yeah, that works. So in a lot of retrospects, I've had to help myself in life. And it has taken me a long time to ascertain the ability to mentally handle the world and all the situations that I have personally been stuck in. Now, I say this as somebody who is 25 years old and only recently has had to not worry about job security, being fired constantly. And that's periods of a month. And in this minimum wage economy, I see problems from both sides. I see that people aren't willing, although I'm not one who suffered from that personally. I've tried my damnedest. I was just confused a lot of the time why I couldn't please people, you know? I was nervous. I was a scared kid in an unsure world a lot of the time. And a lot of the time those factories would fire you after 2 days. It's temp work. But that being said, I've kind of tried to diversify myself on all fields. That being said, I'm a very uneducated person when it comes to the curricular. I'm I'm very well educated in the English language in predicate, but I definitely don't have the core foundation to prove myself as a person in the job market. So there were two ways that I could handle it. It's either I could be homeless and try to get my education at the time, or I could be homeless and try to get work. I chose the latter. And it's been a tough journey. That being said, I've made it this far. I'm standing on this stable ground now, and I'm making these points. You know, I see the things that others fail to see sometimes, and this is my way of bringing my vision into the world. I'll admit that I want change. I want a lot of change, because we're all at the end of the line here. It's just the way the transit system works, the way the economy works with all the factory jobs, and lack of see, I'm still a young kid, and I don't fully know the job market, but I know that at the bottom end of the scale, shit ain't fucking right. And I'm going to have to make stands like these videos in order to demonstrate the core values that I want to see in society that I don't see today. Because nobody takes care of people. They like to think they do. They don't. We need to point people in the right direction. We really do. I'm just going to keep on trying to come up with talking points as I go along. So here I am, the intersection. Luckily, I'm just crossing down Gorham. Just the nose. All right. Now that we're at a hill, I can stop walking for a second. It's really hard to do, but I can stop walking for a second and actually ride my board on this cubic foot of foot space that I have to work with. Probably less than that. Probably like a cubic 8 inches. This is only good to do on slow hills, granted, and I actually constantly have to brake because I'm adding an extra 50 pounds onto my regular body weight. I only weigh about 130, so food is heavy, and I had to take a break there because that happened. Life. I'm strong, I don't need help. Just gotta stretch. You're doing a lot of bending doing this, so you want to keep your back Nice and limber. Life ain't made to be easy, that's why it's called life. We're here for a while. We gotta fucking stick to it. Ha! Put it on the sidewalk to keep it in the shade. Keep myself in the shade, really, but keep the food in the shade. Let's roll. So back to talking points. My take on the current transit system that we have, the YRT Viva, everything being connected to Toronto the way it is, we have a bit of a crime problem that wages all across the GTA, all across York Region, all the way up to Sutton sounds about right, because that's really the end of the line. But where we are in Newmarket, where I am now, we're about in the middle. We have our own bus terminal that branches off into Barrie, other regions of Canada, Southern Ontario. But see, a big issue that I feel is people just getting stranded in the middle of nowhere, and now they have to either beg for money and bite the bullet, or they're just stranded there. And I've been stuck. It's uncomfortable to ask for money. I feel it is. Even when I was homeless, it was uncomfortable to do, because you could never be sure of how people would respond. It's an uncertain world that we live in. But what I feel would be a great solution to the transit issue is just stop charging people money for transit. Put it on taxes. Localize the taxes, but put it on taxes. I don't see any sense of rural Canada paying taxes for a service that they won't use, but you're damn right Southern Ontario is going to use that service. And the amount of emissions that we have currently, that's going to cut that down huge. Absolutely absurd, the amounts. There's a lot of fine points that I want to make with this little improv idea that I have. A lot of talking points that I have just stirring in my head constantly, and you know, somebody's got to bring awareness to them, because I've tried working with people. The solution I've come up with is I've got to work, and I gotta be determined to work regardless of who wants to work with me or not. So I have to stay true to my ideals. I have to stay on this ethic. And that's the same way I got out of the streets. The same way I built that ground, that's the same way I built the foundation up from there. I'm sweating like a pig. I wish that I had the ability to stop by a coffee shop for water, but I planned to walk most of this route in the shade. I didn't plan on stopping for water. My mistake. My mistake. I do have apple juice on me though. Oh, traffic. Thank God for patient people. Really. Forearm. Time to switch. It's gonna be harder to hold the camera, but time to switch. Time to switch. All right. Whew. Now, I know anybody who would be watching this on Facebook when I post the raw footage, and somebody's gonna sit down and look at how stupid I'm being right now and say, why the fuck are you being this stubborn? But the reality is, I've had to make this journey by myself for a long time, and I've had to make it as an uncertain person. I've had to make myself a person. And I've had to make myself not the demon that people have once made me out to be. I had to have that moral ethic to say that they were wrong, and they were wrong for putting me there. And you know, the amount of times that I've been fired for stupid things when I'm just trying to put my life together, it's amazing. It's amazing. This one company, Break Mobile Wash, and I have no qualms naming them because they're a bunch of cheap asses. Now, Jesus Christ, they have their own way of paying, and it's legal. It ain't right, but I basically had to pay a deposit on the pressure washer. The bucket and the soap on the machine. They did not provide me any waterproofing equipment. They did provide me a pair of overalls, orange overalls, as bright as this fucking hat here. You know, these are people paying minimum wage to do a job that nobody wants to do. And I washed the undersides of the Miller scale, and apparently they hadn't been cleaned in 7 years. I was sick for an entire week because of the toxicity that I had to deal with. And I had no face mask whatsoever then. Now, I got fired from that job for passing out in the truck at a different site because I was working that Miller job the previous week, and I was puking every day that week. I was so exhausted that week. I like to think that I have the, it's been a fucking hard journey, but you know, I've made it humble, and I think I've made it the right way. Because suing over that absurdity, it's far too American for my ethics. It's greed. it would have set some justices straight. But where I stand behind that is that if you want justice, you have to make these points. You have to stand up for yourself, and you have to have that backbone to do it. You do. I haven't always had this backbone. You know, I've let myself get put down a lot in life. I've helped out a lot of the wrong people, and I've tried to help myself in the wrong places. Now, I'll be honest, I'm sick of Newmarket. This is a bit of like, there are a lot of good people in town, but the rowdiness of a lot of them, the ignorance of the mass people as a whole, it's absurd, because, you know, they'd rather stand behind a figurehead than stand behind their friends. You know, they'd rather support a political party without even doing any research on it than actually adhere to public opinion. You know, I mean, adhere is probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. It's like people fucking trying to be edgy, and nobody wants it. Everybody's sick of this whole debacle between conservatives and liberals, as far as I'm concerned. It's just, you know, a lot of people are just so blinded by the one little thing that pisses them off, that they can't look at the picture of 10 years ago and do research on biases and how the old government worked and what the new government took from the old government. You know, people are headaches sometimes. They really are. That's why I make these walks. I got a lot of pride. I'll tell you right now, I had the right idea behind this video camera, though. So, we're about to reach the halfway point of the journey. There's Davis Drive right up there. Once I hit Davis, it's pretty much all downhill from there. So I'm probably not going to be talking as much, because I really have to focus on stabilizing my board when I have a bin of food that I have to hunch my back over in order to be secure. It definitely speeds up the process, but man, your back kills afterwards. Anyways, you know, like, this idea that I have is done with the best of intentions. It really is. I just gotta figure out where ground one is right now, then work from there. This is all improv. So, I gotta work out the resources when I'm not so bloody exhausted from the heat or work. And thank God I don't have that much work this week, because I can actually focus on some of these ideas. Now, had to concentrate on muscle power. The hill kind of inclined there. Ah, my eye. All right. So this is a nice and shady spot. I'm just gonna take a break. This is the halfway point and we're pretty much done, but I need to hydrate a bit. And they gave me apple juice. They gave me a lot of stuff, actually. Now I don't want to like go through it, but you can see some of the product that I got from the food bank. Now this is all pretty decent quality food, but you have to remember that this is only accessible to people with housing. Now I'll come back to this point in a bit, but the way OW works is that you need to have a signed rental agreement before you can get any benefit from the government whatsoever. You need to have proof of address before you can actually earn housing funds, housing stability. Now there are incomes for the homeless. Now I'm not sure exactly what avenues those are. I wasn't even sure at the time when I was dealing with that problem. Yeah, apple juice. Gotta find it though. Like, okay, to point this out, like, this is the food bank that we're talking about, and I really don't want to brag here, but like, I got a fucking steak. The amount that people are giving. Now, the food bank is very much in need. Don't get me wrong. They need all the help that they can get. But I'm just talking about the quality difference of choice that we have. Now, I'll be completely honest. The homeless people right now, what they need is not food. I'm just pointing out that these volunteer resources that we have are far more they have more backbone behind them. They have more people. You know, more people got into the volunteer side of things and the social work aspect. There's a lot of hard points right now that I'm trying to make, and I'm dying in the heat. All right. Good old apple juice. Really should have wore a headband or something. Bandana. Whatever. All right. Central talking points. It's hard to have these discussions by yourself because you gotta... Damn it all. I actually have to rework this out. Give me a second. All right. Rock and roll. Soothe the soul. Fuck off. Gotta wait at this intersection because my board decided to catch on grass. battery's almost dead, but luckily I brought a spare, so not overly worried. And here we are. Lovely Davis Drive in Newmarket. I gotta keep focused on so many thoughts, and they're all so hard to keep track of. I have another talking point once I cross the road, but I'm gonna wait until I'm out of the traffic. Come on. Fuck you. That is another problem that we have in Newmarket, and I'll try to bring attention to it once I get there, but it's not a focal point of the film that I'm making here. But Davis Drive, Leslie, Young, there are other streets that do this, but the cross times at the intersection do not give people enough time with walkers or canes, the elderly, anybody with any sort of bone problems. They don't have enough time to cross the fucking road sometimes. And I've seen it where their two old ladies are stuck on an island trying to figure out how to cross the bloody road around traffic, and they're holding up traffic. So we gotta get this fucking town together, and we gotta negotiate these problems and talk to each other as people, because these things are getting out of hand. And they really are. It's getting absurd. I've lived here for 12 years. I've been sick of Davis and Young and all the construction ever since. But, you know, these problems have not been resolved the way that they've been promoted. They haven't. And I've lived with them. I've lived with them for a long time. Now, if we want to go back to the topic of uncertainty, I was definitely not the best kid in high school, but granted, I went to Huron Heights, and God, when I went there, the kids are just so. I had my house broken into on my 16th birthday over drugs. I've been thrown out of cars over drugs. I have had and because of those things, I was just so insecure because of having my house broken into while I was going to school, and trying to help, you know, like. I had my greedy moments. I tried to make a buck. I fell down from the sky from that, but you know, that was far before the actual journey began. You know, I saw a lot of things about the world. I just had no ability to speak up about them. And my solution to having my house broken into, it was a stupid solution, was just to let like 5 kids sleep over all the time, so I could try to get my education. And I still don't have my education. Let's be realistic. That was a dumb idea. Anyways, you know, like with with everybody, when we have sheep following sheep, when we have these kids like car hopping around, and I've never been one to support theft at all. I might like drugs, but you know, I've never been one to support you should never wrong somebody else. You know, you never know what somebody else needs. You never know what the needs of others are. And you don't have the ability to judge that. You don't. And having that urge, having that niche having that inner drive to, having that inner compulsion to just do whatever you want. Yeah, you're gonna end up in jail. That living that lifestyle. And you know, jail ain't a fucking pretty place. I've been in Lindsay for 3 days. I was scared when I was there, and I won't say the arrest was right, but it made me think a lot about the people that I hang out with. It made me think a lot about the situation that I got myself into, and you know, in a lot of senses, I did get myself into that situation. But on the same token, the only major reason I got myself into that situation is because I chose to go to Huron Heights. I chose to go there instead of Denison. And you know, even at Denison, like I wasn't a stoner until I got into Huron. I smoked pot before, but I wasn't a stoner until I got to Huron. And it's different because, you know, it's a different aspect of why I wasn't succeeding in the public education system. In a lot of the classes in elementary in grade 9, I just passed out during them. You know, like I did the work. Didn't always show my work, but I did the work. And you know, I did it and just put my head down on the desk, and for the most part, I have every single math credit that I would need. But on the same token, I don't have any of my Englishes, and that's quite ironic to me, all things considering. But I'm great at both subjects. It's just I'm more inclined to creative writing and the like. So yeah. So, I made it home. I'm not going to show you where my house is, but I live down that catwalk, basically. And, yeah. Day one. Probably going to go back to this later today after I let my camera charge because it's dead. But, you know, again, this is an improv project, but this is about the struggles of everyday life, and I have a lot of talking points to talk about. So if anybody wants to hear them out, if anybody can think of anything, please, by all means, leave some fucking dialogue. I'd love to get a community going on this. Get some ideas built, get things done around this town, get things done around this region. And I'm only just one person, so let's make things happen.